Dumping. Oh my gosh, the internet is wicked. Is it going to stay on? Uh-oh, I think it might stay on. This is so strange. A lot of people are complaining and businesses are complaining because their internet's bad, but everybody's phones are going crazy. There is something going on with satellite, I guess. I don't know. But hopefully we'll be on for a second. Hope some folks jump on here and say hi. If you want me to answer some eBay reseller or Etsy or Macari or whatever questions for sellers, I might be able to help you out. I've been there and done that. I've tried about every platform out there. There's a few new ones I've never used, but I about gave up. By the time I got to Bonanza, that was kind of ick. Hello there. I see somebody's coming to join us. Good to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Anyway, it's been a very interesting, well, last 24 hours actually. Yikes. But such is life. You know, it does have its up and downs, and sometimes it rains and pours, and then it's calm after the storm, so we'll see. Blue jeans! Man, the internet's wicked. How's your internet doing? I can't even believe I haven't been able to get on the live for weeks. It's been wretched. I get on and it'll keep dumping every 2 seconds, and then I just give up. So I have to upload that stuff, and it just uses up that phone time. Yeah, I'm in the Destin Fort Walton area. It's been a rough last 24 hours. I want to tell you that. I unfortunately had to shut my eBay store down temporarily because all my stuff got locked up last night at midnight. Yeah, I didn't have the money. My old work wanted me back, and it took a month and a half to get my stuff done, and there's something seriously wrong with the picture. It's like growing as we go every day. Yesterday was very traumatic with somebody I've never worked with before, don't know. That was really creepy, scary, and I really hope not to go through that again. It was pretty bad. Uh, yeah. But today was very much roller coaster. I had 2 interviews today for some other jobs because I still been looking for other work even before I got back to work at my old job. Do I meet people on here? Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people on YouTube. I mean, lots. Lots, lots, lots. Um, and, if you, when I used to vlog every day, it was so much better for my channel. And I used to go after Baby and them going, you need to vlog every day. You need to vlog every day. And I'm like, no. And now they just vlog left and right because I was like, vlog about anything. Doesn't make a difference. And their channel has just blown up. I've been hoping to, I missed it. That's the one thing about you. Here it comes. It came back. I'm just asking. I'm hoping to be in Destin soon. Well, awesome. Awesome. When you jump on my live, or you can send me a message or whatever, um, let me know. And if I can get with you, I sure will. Um, and, because you've been a nice friend on my channel, and I appreciate you. And we're going into spring break now. We're getting ready to go into the open. It would be just to let you know I'm old. Hey, I'm older than the hills, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, but older than the breeze. And when I die, it's going to say 0000. Um, and the biggest problem is when I die, I have to find a way back because I got too much left to do. So my husband and I might take a trip. Well, sounds great. Why are you coming down the most expensive time of the year? Holy heck. It is, we're walking into spring break. Spring break official opening for this area is April 1. We're right there. They're just starting to now hire And so there's more and more job openings coming. I actually had 2 interviews today. And then I was called into my job, oddly enough, because I told them call me anytime. When spring break? Well, I mean, for Fort Walton, Destin area, for Upper Florida, spring break's our busiest time of the year. Mid Florida and Lower Florida, the winter is the busiest time of the year. Um, and the hotels are higher in those busy times. Um, yeah, I used to work like every weekend down in Hudson and Tampa, dressing entertainers, and I would go down and I'd either stay at the truck stop or I would stay out at Port Richey. There's a really cool hotel that's on the water, and hell, I paid $40 a night, and if you pay it by the week, they give you a really good rate. But now they don't have any breakfast and all that junk. But it's a really peaceful, nice place, and management's really nice. But I'd love to stay over there. It's really a blast. But yeah, the hotels they're gonna climb every week now. They're gonna get really bad, and boondocking's rough. They have really shut it down in the Destin Fort Walton area. It's really, really tight. I mean, unless you rent from a trailer park or something, which is a better option if you can afford to do something like that. It's a great option. But I mean, still, the beaches here, the weather's very California right now. Um, it's like, hey, thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate you. We got somebody else who's joined. Hello, hello. The weather's quite nice. It's very California. It's like in the 60s at night, and then it's kind of in the 70s, I guess, in the day. Maybe kind of climb to maybe 77 a little bit. It's just so perfect. I love that weather. That's about the only thing I miss from back home. That and Disneyland. Airbnb, oh, you'd be eating dirt on that. But I mean, I got a hotel for $50 plus tax in one of the nice hotels I used to stay in quite a lot. When we hit 20 degrees, because I actually had the money for one night. I was forced to. I was scared I was going to die. I really was. I have never boondocked in the car in weather that cold. And it's really dangerous. You get the extreme heats and then the extreme colds. And the cold will literally like stop your brain and kill you. It just stops parts of you as you get cold. Very dangerous. And I'm going to tell you, it was freaking cold. I'm thinking it was just the absolute coldest we've ever had here. I felt like I was in Memphis. It was, oh, man, it was cold. I was hoping this would be the last year I'd have to go through this. But, I'm trying to get that eBay store back on board. When I moved the storages, I knocked all my listings off and I was at 1,000 or a little over 1,000. And it took a long time to get there. But I worked every day. I was pulling like 15, 16 hours days when I had my office. Listing, photographing, making stuff, sewing, listing, photographing. And I mean, I was rolling those hours out. Plus, I was teaching English to the people in the Orient live online. I was doing a ton of that. And that was really fun, actually. It doesn't pay really a whole lot, but it was really a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. Met some wonderful people. Um, but then when I moved the storages, uh, I just, it was such a giant mess, and you have to put it all back together again, and all that stuff. Oh, what a disaster to get organized all over again. And I started taking all the listings down because I had to put out so much money for storage, moving trucks, all that crap. And it took time to move it super fast, and then to get units to sort it and all that stuff. And I had one big unit for my daughter, 10 by 20, that I've paid for 4 years, and I can't do it anymore. And so I just couldn't afford to fly that eBay store at 30 cents an ad. So every time it rolls around every 30 days, you get billed for the ad again. and I was kind of scared to start a real store. And I finally did it like a month ago, and oh my god, it's so much better. I'm paying $21 a month, I've got up to 2,000 listings. So, and then I also get a discount coupon every quarter for free stuff from the eBay bookstore. That was pretty cool. It really was. And other stuff that I want from the eBay bookstore will only cost me like a $4 difference to order it with the coupon. So it's only cost me $4. Shipping's free. You know, it takes about a week to get it, but it's good quality products, and it saves me money. Because shipping stuff is expensive. That's the worst part about selling online is all that packing, shipping stuff. Whether you get it out of the trash or you have to buy it, you tape, you permanent markers, packing, everything is so ungodly expensive. And then the post office, I swear they've gone up 3 times in the past year. Okay. I mean, it's like costing me like $9 to ship a shirt. Oh my gosh. And $10.50 to ship a pair of pants. Oh my gosh. And shoes and bits. Oh, we're talking like $14.50 to $20. Oh my gosh. A leather jacket is easy 20 25 to ship. So it's really skyrocketed. I mean, it's still cheaper than gas. I mean, I said it years ago, 20 years ago on eBay. Please shop eBay, go green, save driving to the malls and all that junk and gooking around. And it's like Christmas when that stuff comes in the mail, you know. Because, it's so cheap to ship years ago. And now it's just horrendous. But still, I mean, my car gets 9 miles a gallon, Jack. You know what I mean? Uh, Still, today, gas has climbed. We're already at, what, 3.10 today a gallon on gas? It's way up there. Um, so, still, I mean, if you're going to drive around town, whether you're tourist or local, and go to different stores or a mall or something, then you're going to spend time and money and gas. So it's cheaper to just order that crap on eBay, especially somebody sellers hurting. The last 60 days have been, well, 90 days have been so viciously rough for a very large majority of sellers. We have had virtually no income. It is so bad. And I thought, well, it's for tax season. A lot of people saying, oh no, it's a political thing. People aren't going to cut loose money. I said, no, I'm thinking it's just tax season and we're just waiting on the refunds. So as soon as I shut my store down, my store is lighting up. It's going wild. And I can't accept an offer or anything like that because then I have to ship right away and I can't access it. So I will lose my account if I don't follow through. But I can still sell on there if they do buy it now and roll because it tells them a warning that I'm on vacation mode. I set it for the max for vacation mode to allow me to accept stuff. I can set it for 30 days and not accept sales, but I set it for 15 as the max and accepting sales. So the customers just notified me. I mean, people still buy it. I mean, I don't like it, but if I see something in somebody's place and I'm like, dude, I got to have that before somebody else buys it, I'm going to buy it and wait till they ship that devil to me. If it's something I got to have and it's a cool deal. So you have two sides to that story. But it's killing me because I worked at eBay every day and night around my job. And oh my God, it's really detrimental when you stop listing every day because eBay just fry you. Plus the revenue, I'm losing the revenue. Of course, the last 2 weeks they've had me 12 hours a week, and that was not what was agreed upon when I was hired at all. Um, and so it's just grossly painful, and because they didn't put me back on to work for a month and a half, I knew it was going to be really rough, and I was still looking for jobs, and jobs have been scarce because we're out of season. But now they're more and more coming up every day to interviews. Today, I had a very interesting interview today. The guy was like, I won't even hire you unless you can work 38 hours minimum. And how about fell on the floor? I'm like, dude, you know, this is the guy I was looking for. And I know him real well. I talked to him a month ago, and he actually offered me more pay a month ago. And today he was such a Jew. And but you know, sometimes you gotta stick it up. And it's a job I really don't care to do at all. Um, it's in a fast food joint. Oh my God, I've never done that in my life, really. Not really. Uh, but you know, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I need the money. I've got to save the storages. I've got to unlock my eBay store. I've got one that's getting ready to go up for auction on the 15th if I don't come up with the money. And it's not that expensive except for all the late fees. It'll probably cost me about 200 to bail that devil out. The other ones are way higher because I've got two 10 by 30s. My eBay store's in a 10 by 30. And then I have my little office, and then I have my personal unit that I'm still sorting through now to sell whatever I can out of that. Um, I can't wear all those clothes. You know, I don't have any place to put them. I'll keep only the most special, beautiful stuff. I've lost a lot of weight. There's a lot of clothes I can't wear anyway. So I've been going through that too, and going ahead and I sell those on eBay. Um, I mean, my business has been, I've gone into this used clothes thing. But the thing is that I see so many beautiful clothes every day. It's not like I'm missing anything. I can always pick some up if I gotta have it. So it'll be okay. But all those big clothes, I can't wear those, and they need to be sold. They're just taking up space. It's a waste of space. So I combined 3 units into what I've got now. So I did reduce a great deal in the last like 3-4 months. But the problem is paying for it. I mean, I did not have the revenue. They started me so damn late for work. Kept telling me, "Oh yeah, it'll be a couple days. Or it'll be a week. Oh, now it'll be 2 weeks. Or a couple days." You know, and it's never happened. It went on for a month and a half, and that was just vicious. You know, um, and it's just I'm just not happy with the whole thing. And I worked for the company for a couple years, uh, and it's an El Cheapo job, but I enjoy it. I love the people I work around. They're very simple people, and everybody stays pretty happy. And I do enjoy the job. It's not majorly heavy duty hard work. Um, I mean, I run freight, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I got called in today, and I had to unload a humongous tractor trailer today by myself. They had nobody, and I was like rolling with it, dude. Like I freaking did it a million times. It was so funny. I was like blowing my own self away. Um, I did have a good time doing it. I was glad to have them call me even for a few hours because I mean I'm suffering. I'm just suffering. It just sucked the life out of me. Last night when I had to close my store, and then I went back to work to talk to a manager that was transferred in for a few hours to help us over there, and ask her a couple professional questions from business. And then I left my phone in the car, and so I went ahead and left and went to the car. When I picked up my phone, I had a sale for over $100. And I'm like, Mother of God. And they were already supposed to put the red locks on all the rest of the units. And I had 6 minutes to get in before I'd be locked out of the system to where I couldn't even get in. The gate code. Dude, I flew in there. I went through the door, and my electronic codes were working. I got in there, and there was no red lock. Man, I jumped in that son of a gun. I yanked those shoes out. I said, I'm going to ship them. I'm going to ship them. And because it'll take 4 days for that money to get to the bank. And oh my God, I grabbed those suckers up. And then the internet is still jacked up. Man, it must have took me an hour booting the phone to the computer because the internet is so horrible. just when I needed it most. So I was running a little bit late. I didn't even get that package into the night drop at FedEx, which I had to figure out if I could night drop it somewhere. And I spent an hour playing on the phone playing that game, trying to figure that out. And then I found one that really actually wasn't too far away. Um, and I just followed the yellow brick road to what the phone said on the map thing. And I was like, God, this is right around the corner. And this is the real FedEx joint. It was high dollar tennies that had to go to the shoe authenticator. It's a new thing they do on eBay. So people are stop selling those damn fakes. And so it has to go to the shoe authenticator before it gets shipped to the customer. And then they get verification that it's been inspected and it's real. So they give you free label. You don't have to pay any shipping. All I had to do is print the stupid label, and it took a lifetime. Oh my God. But I got it done, and I was proud because it was $100. And I'm like, God, I need that so bad. Although it takes 4 days to get the money, and I didn't know if it was going to take longer. I still don't know right now and how quick they're going to pay on that because I've never done a shoe authentication one. But I was so excited, and it was, seconds. Just seconds and minutes. And I got in there and grabbed that sucker and shipped. And then this morning I'm going, I only had 3 hours sleep because I was up. And I went, God, I didn't get my Social Security card. I should have got my Social Security card. Now I'm dead in the wind because I can't go to work for anybody. I'm such a bonehead. And I had an interview lined up for this morning. And so I thought, well, hopefully I can find a way to get in, through somebody else because they would lock all my codes up. That's automatic. It's done through the computer. What was so weird, my codes worked. I got in. I got in that building, took a big breath, looked down. There was no red locks. I said, oh boy. And I'm all under all kinds of video cameras. I'm like, boy, they're going to be fried. And I opened 2 units up, my office and my big commercial unit, because I moved a little bit of paperwork in my commercial unit. And I never carry my Social Security card. It stays in my briefcase because I had my purse stolen years ago. It's like hell to replace stuff like that. You have to mail out for it. It takes a month. And I can't do it. So I bopped around my office for a second. Didn't even pull my briefcase out. Went to the paperwork I had on my desk that I moved into my eBay store storage. And I picked that sucker up and looked through it real patiently. And by God, there it was. Because I put it in a colored envelope this time. So I could find it instead of a white business envelope. And I said, holy heck, jackpot. Too quick. And I got out of there. And then I called later to management this afternoon. I said, and I actually started crying like an idiot. I said, I'm really sorry. I said, but, I know that my stuff's, in impound. But I had to get my Social Security card for my interview because they're going to ask me for my license and my card so they can Xerox it in order to be hired. I'd be dead in the wind. Complete. Guaranteed. And they were very nice about it. They said, it's okay. We hadn't put the red locks on the units yet. It's okay. And I was like, okay, I just want to apologize because I know you'll know. But I had to do what I had to do. If not, I've been in there begging you to just give me 4 minutes to try to see where I put this sucker last, Because I had just used it to get back on my old job. I just used it. So, yeah. So that was a blessing. And then it kind of went disastrous up and down all day today. Oh, God. Yesterday was really bad. I worked with somebody that I don't even know that was vicious bad. Bottom line, I had a 2-hour conversation with our temporary manager today, who's much younger than me, but she's a doll. Reminds me of my youngest daughter. She's really smart. And she makes a fine manager, but they're holding back on making her the manager of that store, and it upsets the crap out of me. I'm like, my daughter was 15 years old. She was doing management stuff, doing inventories, everything. And they come back with this story, several years later. Oh, we can't make her a manager because she's too young. And it was like, that's some bull crap. That girl worked 5 years, could do everything everybody else did all the management jobs, deposits, inventories, everything. And then they turn around like, well, she's just too young. And I'll be stomping in there going, what the heck? Because she was still a minor. She's under 18, just about 18 at that time. And I was like, so what's the deal, man? And they were good friends of mine. They're like, I call them my sons, and they're just all precious guys. And he just told me, he said, Red, she's too young. We just can't do it. And we think she'll fracture. I said, give her the job. She's doing it already. She's been doing it for 5 years. Forget the kid syndrome. The point is, can you do the job? It doesn't make a difference how old or young you are. Can you do the job? And they refused. And here's a young girl here that's, licking the plate to try to get that job. And I applied for 4 or 5 management jobs in this company. I've worked for them, a few years. And I did those just recently. And then she told me her little thing, I'm dying to get the manager job. And right now I'm temporary manager. They're paying her freaking minimum wage, and she's running that entire show. And the one last form of management that's left after they just got done cleaning house and the rest quit, it's not doing a damn thing. They're leaving it all on this young girl. And she's breaking her neck to keep up. All the paperwork, everything. And I look at her and I know she's just maxing out. It's so horrible. And she's cried a couple times in front of me. And I told her, I said, you know what, you're doing a really good job. You're just doing so good. And no one can compare to you here. And you don't ever think that you're not doing a good job. And she just looks at me, and I just love her. I love her like my own kid. Um, she's really a special person. I've really enjoyed working with her. And no, I don't have any problem with because she's younger than me. She actually looks younger than she is. She had actually mentioned to me. I didn't ask her. I figured she's about 17, 18. She actually told me about a week ago. She said, I'm 20 years old. The unfortunate thing is I talked to someone in management that's worked for the company for a little bit. Somebody I met with last night to ask them a couple business questions about the events that happened yesterday at my work. They were insane. From a lunatic I don't even know. That's in management. You can't act like that. It was really bad. And I told her, I said, boy, I wish, they would go ahead and give her the management position. And she looked at me and she said, they will not do it. And I said, why? She said, she's too young. I said, she's 20 years old. I said, my own daughter was 15 and could run the whole show for a corporate. No, I don't think she's too young. She's a grown girl. She's 20. All my kids were like 6-year-old and they were like 30-year-old in a 6-year-old suit. I used to say when they're really little because they're really smart, business-minded kids. My kids were exceptional. Maybe it's because I molded them into that. I treated them like adults their whole life, and I'm proud of it. But she's like, no, they got to be 21 to manage, and I was like, dear God. And I'll never be able to say that to her because I was all over her the other day. I said, please go on the computer. Please go back in and reapply for any of those management positions. Do it. Please do it. I said, because I'm going to tell you why. The other supposed manager that they supposedly just hired, that's the word. We don't know. I said, the thing is that, sometimes that doesn't work out when they go off to training. They have to train in another unit, not the one they're going to work in, for 4 weeks. And a lot of times I put them in a hotel and all that crap. And then what happens is they screw up in a hotel, partying in the bar and not showing up to meetings and all this other crap. So that it becomes worthless. They end up a total fail. They don't even make it through the first week or the first couple days, and it's a fail. They're a reject, because they were too drunk from the night before to show up to the seminar. So, I told her, I said, sometimes it doesn't work out. Did you ever think about that part? There's no guarantee that sucker going to make it through. So go in there. I said, please promise me today. Go on the corporate computer right now in the office as soon as you get a chance. Please take 5 minutes from your time and click on those jobs and say yes, please. And she looked at me and she said, I'll do it. I said, really, you will, please? She says, I wish you would do the manager thing. I said, no, I already did it. I said, I'm not worried about it. I want you. It's your dream. You want it that bad. You go in there and you click that button. Just like I tell my own kids. You got to follow your dreams. Don't let anybody stop you, man. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for those stars, because one day you will grab one. I've been around 100 years. I'll be around 100 more. But I've been there and done that. You know what I mean? I know. I can just about predict life. I know how it rolls from way back. I left home really young. I've worked all my life. I know from way back. So I already see it coming, and I can forewarn you. But I wanted that little girl to have her dream, and I pushed her yesterday to go in there and do that. And God, I found out last night it'll never happen. I'm just sick, you know? So it's just been a roller coaster of the last 24 hours, good and bad. I've got 2 job offers. One that tells me you can't even work here unless you work a minimum of 38 hours for me a week. And I went, what? How about filling the floor? Man, if I could have got on there a month or 2 ago, Jack, let me tell you. Oh my gosh. I need the money. It doesn't take a whole lot to make $800 for some storages. You know what I mean? And even at a minimum wage job, who cares? I just need the moolah because my eBay store is building and building. I put so much time and effort to try to bring it back up to 1,000 listings. Don't worry, I got plenty of stuff. Lots of stuff to list. That's why it's there. I can't pay for it to be housed its whole life. It's got to be sold. That's the whole idea. Okay? I'd much rather be paying $800 a month for a place to live than $800 in storages. You know what I mean? Although there will never be anything here for $800 probably for another 2 years. Because rents are dropping since the pandemic, thank God. They are dropping a little bit because the landlords are getting burned on that high dollar rent. People can't afford it and they're moving out. And that's just the way life. But now it's high all over the states. It's still pretty high. It's not like you can move to Oklahoma and rent a place for $400, or move to Georgia in the woods and get a place for $200 a month. It's not there. Everything's high. Dothan, Alabama, you're talking 800 and up. In freaking Dothan, Alabama. What a dive. You know? God, I remember it was 400 or 500 years ago to live in the ritziest place in the town. Gee whiz. It's so high now, it's just beyond belief. So, and I'm not saying that I want to stay here. I'm not saying I'm planning to stay here. I'm keeping it wide open for cross states. I do like Florida in comparison to California because the overhead is so much cheaper. And it's very much the same as where I was raised in California. And that's the thing I love of California, but all that's history now. That's all gone. It's not like the days of yore. It's full of traffic, people smoking weed all around you, and friggin', high dollar wages, but you got to figure out how to work 80 hours or more a week just to pay rent, utilities, and live, and that's just insane. I don't see where we're getting ahead there. It needs to be where you can work a 40-hour week and be able to pay rent and utilities in California. But it's not that. You're talking about 5K a month rent. Not possible. Better get 2 jobs. Yeah, gee, knee. And it's not like that here. This is Upper Florida. It's a better part. It's not Jax. Jax is a dive. Ocala is a dive. You know, Hudson isn't like the most precious thing in the world. That's out by Tampa, and I like to shop in that area and work in that area, but it's not like something I'd want to live in. But if you can get mid Florida or above, it's better. As long as you don't go to Jax or Ocala or any of that trash. But uh, I like the weather, not to boondock in, but I like the weather as a whole for a place to live if you have a house. Um, but it's my kind of thing. I like to be near the ocean. I can breathe better. I got allergies and all this other crap when I left California and moved to the South. Oh my God. I'm like, what happened to me? And I got hit with asthma, all kinds of stuff. When I left home, and I think it was just because it was breathing different crap. Um, you thought I got healthier when I wasn't around any smog, but I guess not. You know what I mean? So, uh, I mean, I do love Florida, but I'm not saying that I'll stay here. There's a lot of sadness here for me. There's some history of sadness here for me, and so I really kind of prefer not to stay. I've worked here for years, coming from Memphis and everything else, and made huge money here. And they've always begged me to live here. I've lived in this area 2 times in my life. I brought my baby girl to this area because it's one of my most loved places in the United States. And I wanted the back end of her life to be in a really neat place. Um, that's what I wanted to do for her. A place where you could walk down the street and not get jumped. Where people weren't breaking in your car every day. Um, that go fast lane back home is ridiculous. I mean, you park your car, you come back in an hour, get up in the morning, sucker gone. I don't care if you live in Beverly Hills. It's bad back home. And I got so tired of it right before I left there. Got so tired of it. And my youngest child, I had such fear. They at that time when she was born, they were running by mothers pushing their kids in baby strollers, walking them, and would reach down, grab the baby, snatch them, and go and sell them on the market. And I'm like, Jesus, do I have to tattoo her social security number on her foot as a baby? I mean, what do you like, get, some kind of thing and wrap around the wrist or their ankle that ties them to the stroller, like a little leash thing or something, hoping the sucker doesn't just yank her kid and run. I mean, it was frightening. And at that time in the schools, they started fighting with chains. Today, they fight with guns. I begged my babysitter to stop teaching. It's making me nervous, right? Especially in the pandemic. I'm like, please, you must stop. You could have retired years ago. Stop. Please, I'm begging you. And she was like, oh, just quit. She's real, like, from the church, Oh, just quit. So Ozzy and Harriet, her and her husband, they're interesting. But, real calm folks, um, but I begged her because I love her, you know. You don't want to say, you know, your relative in a newspaper that they got shot teaching, second graders because some fool shooting up the school or some kid brought a gun to school. They don't want to say that. She worked so hard. She tried so hard in her life. And she was nowhere like me. We were so different. I never had to try. She busted her butt to do everything she did to learn computers, to learn how to teach. Then they slapped her in the face going, well, you don't have a degree. You can't teach anymore. And she taught there for I don't know how many years. And I told her, you need a degree? How long you want? I had like 4 at that time. And she was like all pissed off. I said, you have to make a decision. You either go to school and try to get whatever it is they're requiring, or change positions. And I mean, again, in computers, it's still a thing, even today. And she was learning that back when she was a kid. But thank God she finally retired. I was so excited. But I guess she hates my guts because I haven't talked to her since. When she admitted that she retired, and I thanked her so much. I'm like, thank you so much. I have to tell you now, I just really didn't want you dead. I was so scared because these schools are out of hand. And they really need to forget all of this school system stuff and just go to homeschool everywhere and end it all. It's just not worth it. It's too dangerous. The government is not funding the schools anymore. When I sent Boop to school, which I hated, kindergarten cost me $200 for the first semester. $200 to buy supplies for a public school. It's not even private school. Public school, and I'm buying Band-Aids for the nurses' room. 300 bags, Ziploc bags. For what? What is that for? When I went to school, they didn't ask us for Ziploc bags. I don't even know if they had them back then. I think we just had fold-over sandwich bags back then or something. And they weren't asking my parents for 300 or 400 Ziploc bags and 200 Band-Aids and all that crap. We went to school and they gave you a pencil. Now, if you were a jerk enough to break it, bust it, throw it up so that you couldn't do your work, and you thought that was fun, they make you buy another one for a nickel. You better have a nickel, or you're going to be in a principal's office. And then you're going to get a SWAT. And then they're going to send you home. And then you get suspended over a pencil. Okay, so it was real simple back in the old days. Well, these kids today, these parents, I don't know, don't have kids today. It's so expensive between medical, medicines, doctors, having a kid, buying $300 stuff, I might as well say Gucci on it. And this extreme baby food. What is this baby food they're selling? My kids didn't eat any damn baby food. I made their stuff fresh. I ground it up in a sieve, fed it out of a spoon, off my own plate. I fed them real food. Really, I did. Even when I went to the fine restaurants, I had a little sieve in my pocketbook. And I put it through that sieve, smash it with a spoon, feed it to them right there off the plate of whatever I was eating. They were like, oh my God, you can't feed them that. There's too much spice and all. I said, look, I don't want my kid growing up to eat hot dogs, and freaking, bologna sandwiches. It's not happening. I want my child to have a variety of taste. And I mean, of course, I delayed solid meats and all that because, their systems can't process when they're babies. You have to step it out, pretty slowly. But everything else was real food. I didn't do baby food in the jar. Don't even start with me. Didn't do it. No, sir, no way, no how. All my babies had real diapers, not plastic. No, sir. No, sir. So, um, kids are too expensive today. But this paying, these young people, how are they going to pay $200 in supplies for the first semester in kindergarten for a baby? Are you kidding me? And pay rent. I don't care, single parent or two people. It is so expensive. That's insanity. So the government's not funding crap anymore. The money's being bypassed. I don't know what it is. And being a teacher, you're not going to get paid crap either. I used to teach. It's worse now than it was then. Uh, so, um, I just think they should eliminate it completely. Make it everything's so computerized now today. Anyway, we have these little cell phone things, these car phones, and we have internet. You got YouTube. There's so much out there. As long as you can have internet, you can do all kinds of stuff. I really think They can do live lectures or whatever, pre-recorded lectures, whatever, live classroom, and just do something like that on internet. So with a camera on the kids, so they're paying attention. And they're not like out playing in the yard or something, and the parents are responsible letting them learn. I think it'd be better that way, much safer. It's just entirely too dangerous. There's so many shootings in these schools, and it's destroying me like it's my own kids or something. It hurts every time I hear or see something on the internet about, well, a kid brought a gun to school and shot up 10 kids and killed them. Well, somebody walked into a school and shot up 20 people, and an older teacher that's taught for the last 52 years or something. It was a sweetheart. I mean, that stuff rips my guts out. That's just so much negative drama, and it's seriously dangerous. It's death. It's like final. That's the end. Zilch, nada. You're not coming back. It's no. There's something wrong, very grossly wrong, when it's not safe to send your children to school, and that might be the last time you see them. God, Jesus Almighty. It's just a horrible thought. And my baby sister was so mad at me. That's not right. I said, no, they need to go to homeschool. Forget it. And because they're not shipping enough government money out, and you know, they can you can utilize that money somewhere else. And she was mad as hell when I said that. And now it's to the point of, well, I think it's way better than a bunch of people dying innocently. You know what I mean? So maybe she's mad at me because I thanked her graciously when she finally did it. Finally retired. Only because I love her. And I don't want her dead doing what she loved. Because it's too dangerous. Yeah. That's a mess out there. I've lived in some rough neighborhoods back home. I have lived in the finest back home. It's all about the same. And today it is all the same. It's very fast-lane. It's grossly expensive. And the homeless are so rampant out there. It's just everywhere. It's just heartbreaking. But they don't have the brains enough to investigate other places. As you move across the United States, it does get cheaper. It's You get to Arizona, you go through Texas and it's about half the price of California. You go to Arizona and it's a little bit lower. And then as you progress across states, it gradually goes lower. And then it's more sane. I mean, here, your average rent here, if you're a lucky duck, you might, maybe, catch something for $1,200 a month. Maybe, if you're really lucky. Because the rent skyrocketed in the pandemic when all these tourists came in and bought all the property, renovated and brought California rents in. You're looking at nothing less than 2,000, 2,500 rent anything. It's slowly dropping. I knew it would, and everybody said, "You don't know." I said, "Well, no, I'm no real estate pro. I'm just telling you, it's not going to hold out. People cannot afford these high-dollar rents. They're going to have short-term tenants. They're going to be pissed. Their places are going to be tore up, and they just can't depend on regular rent. And that's why you want to rent. Is you want to rent so that you don't have to babysit it. You own the property. You're making revenue, or you've got a mortgage you're holding back. You might have taken and pawned that sucker out to buy another property because you like investing, because it's like Monopoly. Whoever has the most wins. I think that, if you have a tenant that is going to pay you the agreed rent and you never have to worry about it, and, they're not late, and it's like clockwork, and you can pay your bills or whatever or live off of it, um, that's wonderful. But if you're going to have that rent so damn high that if somebody loses their job, they just lost everything. And it's very hard to recoup, just as me. I lost my job at the end of November last week. It was the last week of November. I had enough money in the bank from eBay. I never cashed my eBay money out, ever. I didn't pay storages with it, nothing, ever. I left it alone. I didn't even know how much I had in the bank because I didn't care. I just left it there because it was my business money. Although I could use it to pay the storages and that's a tax deduction and all that stuff because it's shop rent and all that. But I didn't use it. I didn't use it by eBay stock. I didn't use it for nothing. I left it in there. And I could not believe when I looked in there when I lost my job. I'm like, Jesus, what am I going to do? I did not even realize I had that much money in there. And so that carried me through for, 30 days, 60 days, because I was always used to paying all my rents in advance before they were due and all that stuff, and keeping the car up and, you know, that kind of thing, trying to eat and everything, and gas. I was going through a ton of fuel, wearing the car out. I had two very incredible car repair bills I had to do, stuff I couldn't fix. Um, and, you know, I did okay, even though I was still looking for other work. But I was kind of in great hopes to try to get my eBay store running so well that I could live off of it. And then hopefully get it running even better to where I could actually, get like a hotel. That was my main plan. Not so much a residence, because I'm not sure if I want to stay because of the sad memories here. But I was going to go most definitely, especially come winter. I said it'd be so nice because I'm going to rent a freaking hotel this winter. I am done. I'm not playing the boondock game. I'll never make it through a winter again, in a car. And dear God, didn't even get to do it. So that I did my store's up to like 800 items now. I busted gazoongas every single day. Missed 2 days in the past year. 2 days of listing. Yeah, I was just too damn tired, and I just said I'm not doing it. I had enough. You know what I mean? I never have time for myself. If I'm not working another job or working my eBay stuff, it's what I do every single day. Now I can't even get in the sucker, and I'm spinning my wheels because I don't know what to do with myself. I have a little bit of gas money. I'm barely working, and I can't pay my bills, but I probably should be taking some time to do stuff I've wanted to stop the world and do, like go down to the beach and say hi to the beach. Um, Maybe see if there's like some free museums around I can go to. There's one I think here, if it's still here. I need to go to that so that I can tell tourists about it because I know a lot about this area for a great many years. This Daston, Picola, which is a very bad place to go, and then Panama. I know all those places for many, many years coming down from Memphis to work to dress people in the entertainment business and food and beverage and all that. And, um, I really enjoy visiting some of the good tourists because they'll ask me, what is there to do here? And I'm like the know it all book. Hey, there's this one place and it's free. Hey, there's this a beach over here so you don't have to pay and it's free. And I know all these other places and very good restaurants and touristy places. So I really enjoy, sharing that with people that have come here. I mean, they'll literally like be right now. You know what I mean? It's great. And I've done a lot of YouTube vlogs, around the states of touristy things too. So, that helps people. I mean, all about traveling, you don't have to spend $1 bazillion to travel. You just don't. Um, but there's so much to see in this world, so much to see and do. Don't miss a step. Always take time out of your life to stop the world for a minute and go do something or learn something. You know, it gets so monotonous. I bust up gazungas every day, every day. Every day. and because I don't have a choice. If I don't work for it, I won't have it. And I've got so much stuff that's got to be sold. You know, I made kind of a weird investment. I really wanted to follow the used clothing thing. I'm really good at it. I know tons about clothes. It's right up my alley. I got a degree in that. Man, I know all that stuff that's real valuable today like the back of my hand. Some of the newer stuff's come across through the years. I don't know much about that. I'm learning that. It's a lot of studying, but the other stuff I know like the back of my hand. And that stuff's valuable. I just listed a jacket the other day. The day that I had to close my eBay store for $400. And it's a 1980s jacket. My God. And there's only two others, and there weren't any just like mine. It's one of a kind. I can't even find it on the internet. It's the only one in existence that you can buy in retail right now. So I own the market. The other ones were running about three. I said, well, I need the money really bad, so I'm not gonna like roll it out on auction. I probably could have got 2,000 for it on auction. Um, but I just really need the money really bad. And so I listed it for 400, you know, and in hopes that it would sell just so instantaneously. It was funny because those shoes that I sold, they weren't even on the market 24 hours. And I listed some that I thought might have been fake because I bought like 6 pairs, really good price in a store. And I bought all they had as fast as I found them. And I looked at them, researched them while I was there, and I was stuffing them in the shopping cart so fast. And uh, and then I listed some, like one or two of them, and then the other day I said I better look at those again. I want to see if they really are real. And I've researched it, and the boxes and everything, the scan codes and the shoes are all matching. And I'm like, damn, these suckers are real. I'm about 99% sure. And I went ahead and listed 2 pairs, beautiful brand new name brand shoes, you know, men's tennis shoes. And let me tell you what, one was like a Puma and the other one was like a Nike, something like that. And not 24 hours, not even 24 hours. Dear God, that sucker went ding. And I had 6 minutes to get over there to back it up and ship it out to save my butt from the poo poo eating dog. The night I had closed my store for vacation. God. I still get sales. I just don't have a way to ship out because I can't access my stock. So, you know, it's there and I don't get the money. They pay 4 days after you ship. It's on the tracking number. So, yeah, in the old days of eBay, when they had PayPal, you got paid instantaneously. And the freaking bank be banging away. Bam, bam, bam. You made a sale. Bam. And it was just incredible in the early days of eBay and Amazon. I made huge money. Huge. It was ridiculous. But the market's very competitive now. But the clothing, the used clothing thing is neat. And I did buy all high dollar crap. I didn't buy any crap. I know the brands. And I got really good deals. Some I had to pay a little up for. But when it sits there and it's not listed, it's not doing any good. But, you know, and it has to be washed and serviced. Some things have to be repaired. But yeah, uh, you know, I did invest, and I hate investing in new crap because I like what I do. But, you know, I've, you know, watched other people do so well with it. And I know my stuff. I know stuff they don't even know. Because I sold that stuff in Beverly Hills when it was brand new. And today stuff's worth a ton. You know what I mean? Yeah. GC Couture. Velour pants. Those suckers were like Old Navy or something. They were, and they were like, freaking $6 was big money to pay for those. Because back then everybody wore jeans, man, and jeans were cheap. Levi's were a joke. Levi's were like $9 or something like that. Levi's were just some junk, you know. But there was a lot of people like them. Today, you want to buy a new pair of Levi's, like freaking real Levi's, not some discount fake-o junk at Walmart. I'm talking about real Levi's, brand new. On the website, it's $80 to $100 from Levi, and they stopped making them. That's why they're so high. Levi has stopped making clothes. Yeah. They got a website that you can buy vintage jeans for nothing less than $180. Go on there and look. You go, what? And it's like gently worn. I'm like, why do I want to buy used clothes? What the heck? If I gotta wear jeans, I like them like bell bottomed out, dude. I like them like almost black. You know that blue, that indigo blue that's almost black. They're so dark and they're pretty. You know, and when you press them with starch, they'll stand up on their own, kind of thing. Literally. I used to love all the stuff in the jeans with the cutouts and the patchwork thing going on, and the window pane jeans and tie dye jeans and all the fun stuff, you know. And I mean, you can only do so much with jeans. They don't even have nice jeans today that are comparable to those back then. None. There's none that compare. There's a couple that are getting kind of close, but it's still not there. We had the neatest jeans. God, they were gorgeous. And then there were Janko. Guess how much Jankos are? Dude, I had friends gave me 6 pair. They were in other storages out there in Bama that I've had for years. They say, here, this is for you. When I was on a road trip. Okay, I was working in Oklahoma. And my friends I stayed with, they had me the stack of beautiful jeans. But they're these big baggy jean kind of things. And I like, what is that? And they're like, Jinkos. I said, I never heard of it. And they said, oh no, this is the thing. And these will all fit you. And they gave them to me as a real big gift, and I accepted it. Shit. I've worn them about twice. And every time I wear them, people are like, man, those are rad. They're freaking Janko. I'm like, I don't know what Janko is. Guess how much Janko jeans are on eBay today? Mother of God. We're talking like $2,000 for a pair of used Janko. I am not kidding you. This used clothes market freaks me out. I can't figure out why used clothes are so much more expensive than new ones. It's weird. So I bought into some of that. As time had progressed, I took a little bit of my pay every week from my really good job where I was making 21 an hour here for a year. And I would go out every week, like on my day off, and, yard sale or hit some stores and an hour here, an hour there, and then go do my business and work on eBay. And I would pick up stuff, and then I'd throw it in a pile so I could wash it, and have it ready. Because I won't list nothing that I buy. I do not list any used clothes that I buy unless I wash it with Lysol and stuff first. I'm just not doing it. I'm not. I want it fresh and clean to go to the customer. I don't want any stains in it. I'm a terrible perfectionist. I know a lot of these sellers want to sell it with some stuff and on it, and I can't sell it like that. And I don't like photographing stuff having to point all that crap out. So I really like them pretty perfect. I invested in a gradual for a year, a small portion of my paycheck, and worked it little by little. Now I've got a big pile of bags in the corner of my commercial unit that has to all be washed. And I take 7 loads at a time, and I'll do it. And and whatever's suitable and clean enough, it doesn't have to be repaired. I'll list it. So I hang it up and all that stuff till I can photograph it and list it and all that. But I mean, I invested in that. But the problem with used clothes is the sell through rate is very, very, very slow. Unless it's something incredibly rare like Juicy Couture, which is like $50 a piece, whether it's a top or pants, used. $50 for a freaking item that costs $6. People just think that's the neatest thing in the world. Yeah, it's nicely made, okay stuff. It's just casual wear, like women's sportswear. Um, it's okay. I mean, but it doesn't impress me. You know what I mean? And these people will pay $50 for top or pants. Juicy Couture cracked me up. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. You know, so I thought it would be a terrific move. I got all the right stuff, no junk, no two penny crap, nothing. I've got suit blazers, I've got men's clothes, I've got kids stuff. I don't like to invest kids stuff because it sells terrible on eBay. God, that is the absolute worst. Jewelry and kids' clothes fry you on eBay today. It won't move. So I got good top dog stuff, and the sell through rate just takes forever because that's what it does. You're not going to sell that stuff in less than 3 months unless you're really lucky. And it can take up to a year. And then by that time, you're marking it down and trying to get it gone because it's just taking up space. I mean, and the other thing is just, you can donate and tax write it off because it's a loss. They'll give you a receipt and everything when you donate. And it just have to start over, you know. So, because you just don't want to keep on listing, keep on listing. I don't want to keep anything for a year in my shop. I do not. It needs to sell. It needs to go somewhere. And I'll mark it down, mark it down, mark it down, mark it down. If it's going to be a pile of crap, I would donate it, give it to a homeless person, something so they have clothes. Yeah, because I just can't. I don't want anything that long to sell through rate. So that was kind of a mistake to me. I think it still is a good investment for a lot of people starting or whatever if they want to babysit that for a long time. I really don't have an interest in long tail sell. I like stuff where you get up in the morning and go, damn, I sold 20 last night. That's what I like. I like that cool surprise. Wow, I'm having a good day. I sold 20 last night. And the day's not even over. Let's see what we sell today before I go night-night. You know, I love those old early 2000 days of eBay and Amazon. But it's very competitive now. But yeah, the clothes thing, it's so long tail. Holy Christ, it's long tail. And I just really don't have the patience for that. I don't like tying my money up like that. Even if I buy it for $1 and it sells for 300, I don't like waiting to sell it. At all. I just don't. It's just like you're looking on the eBay like 550 times a day going, has anything sold yet? Oh my God. Did I get a sale? What was the last day I had a sale? God, I hate that. So now I got tons of stuff to list. I really do. I have from electronics, new, used. Majority of my stock is new actually. From shoes, all kinds. I did a YouTube vlog about some of it the other day. I piled it all up. Now I messed that. My shop, brand new unit I got. Oh my God, I shoved all that stuff to one side. I did compile all my brand new boxes. And I was just surprised I compiled them so nicely because they were a big giant mess I was throwing in there from work. And it looked like a million boxes. It really isn't. And but I need them for shipping because I listed a bunch of shoes. I've got a box because I like it ready so I can just ship it out. Boom. And that's the problem last night. Those shoes that I shipped were not ready. They should have already been in the box, ready to go. In a proper size box with additional padding and the gifts that I send to my customers. And where all I had to do was tape it up and slap a sticker on it. But no, they were not ready. And so, but I was really excited about that sale. They weren't even on the market, not even 24 hours. I listed them. the day before, it was that night, I went ahead and I listed those last two at 10 o'clock at night, just before 10 o'clock. Sure did. The night before. And those suckers sold. Yeah. I didn't even look at the exact time they sold. I was having a meeting with management. I went back to, I was short meeting with management. I had 2 inquiries. I left the phone in the car. Yeah. Man, and that came out, about blew me away. One of those 2 pairs sold, just bam. And I was like, oh man, really? I mean, it made me feel great because it was, I like those $100 bills now. If it can be 100 or over all day long, I'm real excited about that. It was no 2-penny sale. I had stuff marked down $5. I was so desperate for money, I was just marking stuff down 2 times a day, every day, as I got closer to the wire. And stuff was just so moving. And I'm like, dear God. Yeah. And now it's closed. It has to sit. I mean, I can still make sales. I just can't ship anything out, and I don't get the money. And people have to wait, and I hate that. But, tomorrow's another day. We just got to work for the goal. That's all. I had 2 good interviews today. It'll be revenue. I was so happy to hear, I won't hire you unless you work at least 38 hours. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, do you ever have like overtime? Well, as many hours as you want. I'm like, quit it. Because 2 of his workers told me that in the last 30 days. They're like, you need to come work with us. We love you. And I'm like, nah. And I said, well, what are the hours like? And they're like, as many as you'll work. Don't even worry about that. You want to work a lot? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, you ever get over 40? And they're like, all day long. As many as I want. Or till I die. And I'm like, you're joking. Yeah. And this one girl, I'm nice to everybody. I love the people. I'm always overly kind anywhere I do business and stuff. This one girl, she used to work for the corporate that I've been working for the last 3 years. And my little side gig. And she's like, Red, I was a manager there. And dude, let me tell you what. And I was like, no. And she goes, yeah. Do you know when I went to that interview today, she walked out, gave me a big old hug. And I was like, hey girl, what are you doing? I so love you. And then later in the interview, she came out and she stepped right up to the plate and told this gentleman, I worked with Red at this company she's working at now. And she's one of the greatest employees. We've never had a problem. We work together great. We are like family. And I was like, I about fell on the floor. I never worked with this girl. I don't think. And she stepped up to the plate because she wanted to make sure I come to work with her. You believe that? That's what you get when you're kind to people. When you try to love everybody, man. You'd be surprised. And that's not the first time in my life something like that has happened. I applied for welfare one time in my life, walked in the welfare department, and there was a girl there that I knew. And there was like 100 people in that place. And I had just got laid off, single parent, had a little bitty kid, was across the states, away from California, trying to make it, no child support, nothing. And I got laid off from a factory. And the world stopped. There was no work for anybody. God alive. And I walked in and this girl was behind the counter. And I did my application. Went, sat down there for a while. Went back up there. I said, do you know how much longer it will be? She said, aren't you Red? I said, yeah. Look at my paper. It's on my paper. I'm Red West. And she says, I know you. Girl, I know you. And I love you. What are you up to? I said, I'm sitting in the middle of the damn welfare office, embarrassed like hell, with a beautiful car in the parking lot. you know, and I have to apply for welfare because I'm laid off. Factory shut down. They took out 400 people. And I don't know what else I'm supposed to do here. This is like a little podunk town, man, in the South. And she goes, well, you just wait a minute. I got you covered. And I'm like, okay, thanks, I love you. Went and sat down. I'm looking at the walls, looking at the ceiling. Lady steps out the door and calls me, Red West. I'm sitting there with people standing against walls, just short of sitting on the floor. Every chair is loaded. There's wall to wall people. And this girl calls me, opens the door. Come back here, please. Okay. Went back there. They immediately gave me an interview. Da da da. The lady didn't even do any further. She checked off a bunch of boxes and had the papers. And she said, so you know my friend that's on the front desk? I said, yeah. And she's a doll. She's really nice people. I just love her. And she says, well, she got a lot of good to say about you. She says, your stuff will be in the mail. Here's this. Here's this. You got a check. You get food stamp. Blah, blah, blah. And here's some stuff for medical for your kid. Is there anything else we can do for you? And I'm like, okay. And she says, we will help carry daycare if you need daycare for work, but it'll only be for work or college. I said, well, I'm enrolled to go in college, but I'm getting ready to go in another month. I just got laid off from work, so this is kind of scary. She says, we got you covered. She says, you'll be taken care of. She says, normal processing is 7 to 10 days. I said, okay. I left. 2 days, opened the mailbox, and there was like freaking food stamp stuff, a check, everything. I couldn't believe it. Medical thing, all that for me, my kid. Jesus almighty, I couldn't believe it. All for being nice to somebody who worked at a little store, a corner market. And every time I went in there, buy a soda pop, whatever, it took a few minutes to be nice and cheerful and joke around, be happy, be nice. Tell me you appreciate them. And Joker got me slid in the door fast as fire. Same thing happened today. Yeah. I can go on and on about other situations that are very similar to that. Even this company I worked for the last 3 years, somebody that got their manager job to them. And they told this manager that I ended up working for, that they worked with me and I was great and they really liked me. Yep. And I never worked with them a day in my life. Yeah, that's right. So, if you really appear sincere, you're really honest, down to earth, and you make good friends, and they know how you are. You're straight up, you're not bull crapper, you're not all jacked up on dope or drinking or stupid, wasting your time, wasting your brains. I think people do have a lot of respect for you, especially varieties of races. I love everybody. I don't care. We all believe the same. I don't care what color you're rolled up in. I don't care if your eyes slant up, down, sideways. I don't care if you have afro hair. I don't care if you have pointy hair. Uh, I don't care. It's about what's in the heart and what's in the mind. That's all I care about. You're good to me, I'm good to you. And, you don't have to expect it to come back to you because it just does. It comes back good. Just for being nice to somebody. Just for saying hello, just for saying thank you. That's the neat part. There are some good people still out there, and people that will love you that are complete total strangers and will step up to that plate just to put the cherry on the top of the cake, you know what I mean? And will make your day. A YouTuber friend of mine, I just got done watching a vlog, and I love this guy. He is so awesome. And I watched his vlog just before I did this one. And I started crying like a big baby, you idiot. I don't never cry. And he's like, so I got Red's boots here. Right in the middle of his vlog. I got Red's boots here. And I'm packing them up because I got to ship them to her. Sorry, Red, I was a couple days late. I told you I was going to ship them a few days ago, but I'm shipping them right now, and he's wrapping the box up and he's talking live on this vlog. Well, not it wasn't a live vlog, but he's doing a vlog. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, that's my friend from Florida. And he says, so here they are. And he's like, sorry. And he's taping it up right there, and tears rolled down my face. That was the sweetest, kindest thing. And he's giving them to me, okay? I made a comment during one of his other vlogs, and he was like, I'm going to throw these away. They've been returned twice to me. And they were really pretty boots. And when he flipped them over, they had tacked heels on them. They were hand tacked, like, a shoemaker made them. They weren't like some commercial junk. And I said, whoa. I said, those are nice looking boots now. And he's like, I'm going to throw them away. I'm going to donate them or something. And I said, I like them. So then, the next vlog, he goes, Red, if you want those boots, he said, send me your address. You got a place I can ship those suckers to? I will ship them to you. And I'm like, okay. He gives me his email. And I send him an email. He doesn't get it for about a week because he's got 5 emails and he forgot to check it. And he was like, you didn't send me your address. I said, no, I did that night at midnight. Plus, I wrote a big letter to you and your girlfriend. And 2, on top of it, I couldn't just leave it like that. Because I'm hoping I'll come down here soon, so I can show them around. And so anyway, he said, on the next vlog, he's like, okay, I found your email. I'm really gonna ship them. I'm like, yeah, okay. And it was like, I'll pay for the shipping, whatever. You want me to pay? And he hasn't even said anything about me paying. Because, God, if he's going to give them to me and ship them freaking St. Louis, dude, I could at least be paying the shipping instead of sit here looking like a chump, right? Business is business. He runs a business, and he hasn't even let me pay him for shipping it. And I have the money to pay him today for that. Yep. I have a little bit of money to pay him for that today. I always like to pay a debt. But yeah, so tears rolled down my face when I saw that vlog tonight. Because it's been torturous the last 24 hours. It's been up and down like a roller coaster, man. It's good and bad, good and bad. And I'm under so much to have that eBay store closed every minute of the day. And that's what I worked so hard for every single day, to get that stuff up on there. And just when I'm getting it back up close to 1,000 is when stuff wants to sell. Man. And yeah, I've just tears rolled down my face. What a wonderful kindness. He's like, here's your box. I'm shipping this to my friend Red, in Florida, and Destin. And there was like, he just did all that right in the middle of a vlog he was doing for his business. I was like totally blown away. What a kind gesture. It just made my whole day. It really did. Somebody to step out and stop the world and be kind like that. And talk about me to everybody that's watching the channel. It is so sweet. So, yeah, that was really nice. And now I got no place to put it but in the car until I can bail the storages out. God. But I'll sure treasure them. I'll probably look at them several times a day just to look at them and cover them with a towel, hoping nobody breaks in my car and steals them. Yeah. Gee whiz. It's just so precious. So, yeah, it's been interesting. God, the weather's so beautiful tonight. You guys don't even know. Man, you don't even have a clue how beautiful this weather is this evening. It's so California. It's got to be just 70 degrees right now. I have a short sleeve shirt on. You know how long it's been to not wear a jacket or 4 jackets all at once and 3 shirts? Oh my God, I've been freezing forever. It has been so damn cold, day and night. Yep, yeah. I already pulled out one sleeping bag out of the car. I took it to Washateria when I was just at the Washateria like a week or so ago, and washed that sucker up and put it in storage. And I mean, I didn't even have enough stuff to keep me warm this winter. That's for sure in the car. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. But now it's starting to tone down a little bit, so um, we're basically out of winter. And there might be a couple cold shots here and there every once in a great while because it does vary. You know, we have that southern Florida type hurricane with it. It can change, for a day, and it won't be just wretched, yuck, cold. I don't think at all. We're kind of done. It's just gonna get hotter as we go. But yeah, and pretty soon I might have to take a blanket out at a time, wash it, and put it in a box in storage so it's fresh and clean, and then eventually I'll just be running sheets because it'll get too hot. Um, but yeah, but yeah, it's been interesting. Last 24 hours been incredible, incredible. We'll see what tomorrow has to bring. Yep, I hope it's good. I hope a lot of good comes tomorrow. So other than that, I'm so glad I got to do a live with you guys. I thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. And I'm so glad I finally got to do a live here because I have not been able to get up on the live for at least a month, I'm thinking. Because the internet is just trash, even on Wi-Fi. That I'm locked into somebody else's Wi-Fi now. If it's still on there, it may have already jumped off. But I'm flying on the live, which is hard to believe. And I've been loading all the updates and all that crap. They've had a million updates on YouTube, and everything else, and it just would not work. So I got to work tonight. Ta-da! And I even took a bunch of stuff off my chip and put on my extra drives. Thinking, well, my chip is just too maxed out. I got other chips, but I'm trying to keep the important stuff that I need for eBay on there. And it's a lot of pictures, so um, and just take off a little bit at a time because I'm doing some advertising too, and I think that's a lot of what's been pulling my business up. Um, and I'm almost sure the ad that I put out on the internet for those two pair of shoes is what locked that in on that sale. I'm pretty sure because there's a lot of other people selling them too. Brand new. Um, so yeah, real exciting. So yeah, we'll see what tomorrow has to bring. I hope you guys had a really great day today. I hope some really super neat things happen to you tomorrow, and me too. um, and we'll see what as the world turns tomorrow. Who knows? Oh boy, I don't know. I gotta work the job from hell for minimum 38 hours. It's money. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Suck it up and do what you gotta do. And yeah, a lot of jobs are starting to fly in right now. I have been applying every day, you know, and more and more are coming up. So we'll see what happens. I hate it because this other job pays way better, but it may take a week to get me in. And I would rather just get rolling just ASAP, you know what I mean? So, uh, we'll see what tomorrow brings. I was glad to be called into work, though. God, it was awesome. I mean, even for a couple hours. I was right across the street. Shoot. I was so grateful, you know. That was just flipping awesome. I would have loved to stay longer, but, we're restricted on payroll right now, really bad. She shouldn't even call me in, but she had no choice. She wanted the tractor unloaded. And she asked me if I would do it, and I said, damn straight. So, and I did, like, pretty much all by myself. It's okay though. I'm proud. I learned some things today and I did a really good job. That's all that matters. So, I hope you guys have a great one. Thanks for hanging out with me. I love you so much. And please stop the world for a minute. Do one thing kind for a stranger every day. Whether it's opening a door, saying thank you, throwing a cool compliment to somebody you don't even know. Do something kind for a stranger every day. Makes our heart feel good. And love everybody. Too much of a good thing is wonderful, and boy, we sure need a lot of that right now. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. I love you.